Tell that to Double Lift. He needs the focus taken off of him. He loves the spotlight, but the Tess, with Bjergsen being in their setup, the gank amount, like the amount of ganks that have been coming down bottom lane are just gone. Like everyone's just ganking Bjergsen now, they're not worried about it. And if we want to see a base race, this would be the team to give it to us, is the Split Push Kings.
The Split Push Kings, of course, the bans coming in, Leona, Nasus, and Kassadin banned out by Copenhagen Wolves, so they didn't want to give Kassadin to Peke this time around. Thresh and Zhao being banned out by Fnatic. The final ban coming in, will it be the Ezreal away from the Tess?
And that Kassadin ban, especially since Fnatic is the purple side, we had Froggen talking earlier about how a lot of times blue side needs to really worry about Kassadin. They're completely restricted on the amount of mid laners they can pick because there's always the option of a 5th pick Kassadin. So instead of worrying about that, they just ban it away, which is convenient because they're against XPK.
And it does look like we may well see a first pick Jarvan once again, kind of in the champion of choice this weekend.
Yeah, especially today. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time he's been first picked in a game. Locked that one in. Most likely jungle right there, so we'll see how Sven Skaren will do with it.
Well, it could well be Elise maybe getting locked in, has been selected, and there they are. Wow, quick lock-ins there. Varus again for Yellow Star.
It's strange, he's usually the Caitlyn king right there. Him and Candy Panda usually destroy with Caitlyn, but Varus working out really well for him. I mean, unless he actually has to go against Caitlyn, Varus is going to outrange pretty much everyone. Haven't seen any Ashe in the last little bit, so shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Wonder what Copenhagen Wolves will do to counter this, because the Elise that Soaz has just picked could really be going anywhere, especially this weekend with the support Elise. Probably Soaz in the side lane, but it could really be anywhere, especially with Fnatic.
It could be anywhere, so let's go to Bjergsen on your screen, just waiting to select the next 2 champions. They have 18 seconds. The discussion is coming out. Of course, it seems to be Deficio that actually works a lot of the picks for them.
Yeah, and he does a lot for that team from a tactical perspective, right? Like, a lot of players, almost like the elements of the European scene, a lot of players don't think he's a great solo queue player, but they do have him on the team, so...
Wow, I was thinking, are they actually going to pick anyone?
They took a long time to select that
very last seconds, Ezreal Lulu.
Yeah, and that's common for Copenhagen Wolves for the most part. The Tess was mainly an Ezreal player.
Yes.
And Bjergsen, I think I've seen a lot on Lulu as well. So that will be a good synergy if they can dive in together with J4. Fnatic, what could they go for split pushing for XPK? Or are they even going to do something like that? Katarina is still available if they want to go against that, but they don't know what lane he'd be going up against. I would love it if they locked in Mordekaiser. It would be nice. Awesome.
We've seen Nunu once already, and that has been locked in. Again, this could be a top. It's a gangplank. Wow, we've not seen him in a long time.
Okay, so we were watching them stream their scrim / practice casting it earlier, and they had a very similar comp to this.
Yes, they did.
That was when they had jungle gangplank with top lane Soaz Nunu.
Yes.
And we talked about how annoying it was, because it's very annoying to play against. Trolly little Yeti messing around with Willump, not letting him do his thing. But that, I think that's what this is. If anything, the craziest setup here would be a support Elise with an 80 Varus, jungle gangplank, top lane Nunu. Or something completely different.
You know they lost that script.
Yeah, pretty badly.
They lost the script, but that was down to Fizz. We're going to give Fizz some highlight play there because he was amazing. But nevertheless, we do see Rumble being locked in, so that's going to be the top lane Rumble decided. So finally, who is Bjergsen going to go with?
So he has to pick this one in blind. He's not sure. I was going to say not Twisted Fate. I was going to say Syndra, but he's gone with TF. And you know better than this on me, Demon. Has he played Twisted Fate before? It's a good counter to the split push that Fnatic might want to pull off.
I don't remember in LCS. I mean, he has been a highlighted streamer before, so he would have played a number of champions, but I don't think he's played him in this highest caliber of play.
Yeah, but he's the 17-year-old League of Legends prodigy. I think he can handle anything, Twisted Fate.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And we are going to see Peke looking like he's going to take a Zed against him. That could, of course, be Soaz in that top lane. We saw Soaz on Zed earlier. And we talked about the versatility that is Elise and Zed. They can be in any lane.
And my dreams are shattered. N-Rated is playing Nunu. We don't get to see Nunu in the top lane. So the team comp for Fnatic, surprisingly standard for them. I think they're going to do the Wombo combo pick composition with Elise and Zed trying to assassinate people again. And I think this is going to be very similar to their split push play style that they worked against EG earlier and then also in their game today. So Copenhagen Wolves will try to counter that with incredibly long-range ultimates from Rumble and Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate obviously can go pretty much from lane to lane, and so does Rumble's ultimate, surprisingly. That thing goes like 3,000 range if you maximize the tip of it. So Copenhagen Wolves has a lot of map versatility to try to counter Fnatic split push.
So teams are locked in. We are waiting things to get underway. The blue team, of course, is going to be the Copenhagen Wolves, and there is... I'm trying to see what it was. It's Deficio. It's Deficio on your screen right now. My screen's trying to slip away from me, as it is the test. Like we mentioned, I feel since the pressure's been relieved from him, he's come to his own again. You know, in the live qualifiers, he was pretty much the instrument of their victory in Warsaw.
Yeah, you're right about that. I remember his Ezreal just going nuts in a lot of those games. People just could not handle it, and his positioning was really well. But the thing with this is, he's up against Zed, who is pretty much the guy who's been killing 80 carries in all these games, especially mid-Zeds. Wicked's even played mid-Zed, and he was not letting anyone live earlier. So he's went with the barrier. They're going to have the shield of Lulu as well. Wild Growth might be able to keep them alive, but it will be a tough one for the test. Everyone who we've interviewed about Fnatic just talks about how frustrating it is to play against their play style. They're so split push, you just can't fight them, and they just get the jump on you over and over again. So,
honestly, while I was just upstairs in the player area,
yeah,
Ocelot just said to me, FML, how do you beat Fnatic, man? They are so annoying with their split push. So, you know, the teams are all saying the same thing. How do we stop this? The Koreans figured it out.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing...
figured it out.
The crazy thing about Fnatic, though, with like the split push strategy is you look at some of the other things that have been sneaking up on people, and it's like the huge teamfight comps or the early game tower dives and tower pushing. Like, those are very direct strategies that are like, okay, this is the formula you follow, and then you go for it. But the split push is so fluid and natural and just crazy that it's got to be just, since Fnatic has gotten so good at it, incredibly frustrating to play against.
I think that was a straight bait Explorer Ward there to see if they can pull a pink out. I didn't see whether it was or not.
Yeah,
it is. It's going down very quickly. Yeah, it's an Explorer Ward. So that was N-rated trying to bait out the pink there, but didn't fall for it. They nearly destroyed it quickly, but we do see the Tribus being covered off by both top and bottom. So everybody simply acting as the human wards right now, and potentially an invade from Fnatic there. They were thinking about going across towards that blue. We have seen a few late invades, but not today.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing that I notice in this game is Xpeke mid lane Zed has started with 2 vision wards and 6 health potions. Either he's just going to try to make Bjergsen scared in the lane by dewarding him, or he's crazy. There's no stealth at all on Copenhagen Wolves. He's not laning against Akali. He might just be trying to deward, or he just has the freedom. He knows he's going to start with like 9 pots and 2 regular wards, so he's like, I'm not going to use 9 health potions. I'll just go 2 vision wards and maybe get lucky. So that's weird to me. I haven't seen it before.
Unless he's thinking maybe, yeah, like you say, he's going to be scaring him. Cyanide may well come ganking fairly early on. He's going to try and keep him controlled, keep him shut down. Svenskeren on your screen, taking away the blue buff, a smiteless blue buff, and the blue buff also being picked up. So as getting a couple of harpoons to the backside from his top laner, Godbro. So it's a straight up 1v1. Soaz wouldn't do it against Wicked, but he's quite happy to do it against Godbro.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. It's back to the classic lane matchups that we've seen before all this LCS craziness. Not often do we get to see 2v2 bot, 1v1 mid, 1v1 top, with mirror jungle starts too. Like, this is as standard as it gets.
This is as basic, straight outright for the last game. Nothing crazy so far. And actually, after talking to Fnatic a few times, we've had them here, obviously, when they've won games. They basically said, you know, we will prepare special tactics for the likes of EG, for maybe SK, but they don't prepare anything special for these teams, for Copenhagen Wolves. And sometimes it does bite them in the backside, like it did before.
Like when they lose to Copenhagen Wolves, and when the Copenhagen Wolves have only had 1 game the whole season. I'd be willing to think that Fnatic would have tried to do something for Copenhagen Wolves, because they're going to want revenge for this one, right?
Yeah.
Like, these gamers are very, very competitive. Like, there's no way they want to lose to Copenhagen Wolves, who are in the bottom of the standings. It's 3-10 their record versus Fnatic, who's 10-3.
It took them off the top spot.
Yeah, and they're still off the top spot if you go by win percentage, which I know you disagree with in
definitely.
some ways, but they have more wins, which would be more points. So if you go by wins, they would be at the top.
They'd still be at the top, bottom, and they wouldn't be so top anyway because Gambit beat them.
No,
so.
Gambit's got 9 wins.
But Gambit have beaten them twice, they'd be both on 9.
No, Fnatic has 10 wins. So if you go by points, they have more points. Yeah.
They have to, because they've updated. They've obviously won games today. Derp. Damn you, damn you. On the last game we cast together for about a month as well. But actually 2 weeks. Hopefully we will get things going. You can see 4 minutes into this game and Svenskeren looking to try and come, but Peke's already pinged it, so he knows he's there, which is why Peke is standing quite far back. He's not going to get caught out by this one, unless he goes something crazy engaging. So as we just heard from earlier on, talking about just how many top laners he can play, and it was pretty modest, I think it's safe to say. It was like, he didn't just so shrugged off Stanley saying he's the best in the world. Yeah.
I mean, so as 22-13 in the top lane, doing pretty well against Godbro. So Elise is known to be the bully in the top lane, and that's what he's trying to pull off.
He is bullying away. Meanwhile, in that bottom lane, it is the Tess, which is the classic Ezreal and Lulu sort of shove push, I guess. Bjergsen trying to go aggressive on Peke, may try and bait this one.
Yeah, and Bjergsen has burned through most of his cloth armor health potions. They're going, but there's a counter gank. They got to back away.
Peke missed out on the major minion there as well. The major creep, the siege minion.
Yeah, it's like the mini game. You lose it, it's like losing 2.5 minions. So that hurts him a little bit. I gotta say, early on, Bjergsen with the cloth armor has done a pretty good job holding up the lane.
Holding out very nicely. Has gone back to get Doran's ring and another cloth armor. So really being very defensive against Peke. Well aware of the burster's potential that will come out of Peke once he hits that level 6. As so has said, you know, how do you win the lane? Well, you just get to level 6 and then you win.
Yeah, you ult them. It's like, whoa! It's so good. That's why Evil Geniuses love Zed in the 1v2 as well, because he hits level 6. I'm just going to go kill one of the 2.
Also as keeping the pressure on towards Godbro. It's definitely struggling out in this top lane. Falling behind in the CS. Creep score. The wild cards coming out. Cyanide held off there. Gangplank's a champion we've not seen for such a long time here. Definitely the first one in the LCS in Europe. I'm not too sure about North America. I remember it the live qualifiers, the Enton, so I think it was, ran it, but that was about it in the mid lane.
Yeah, Cyanide really going back to his roots. We were talking earlier, him and Peke have been on Fnatic since Season 1. He was running it then, right? He was running it in the start of Season 2, but he's definitely throwing back now with the Madrid's Razor Gangplank. He's not really farming all that well. You know, he's level 4, trying to get a gank in the bottom lane. Really, it's going to come into effect once he's got his ultimate, throwing it down in teamfights, but for now, I think he's maybe waiting for a counter gank or something sneaky, but I don't see him being strong enough to brawl a Jarvan. Svenskren's now around the back of him, so this is interesting.
He's going to come around the side there. He does manage to get poke in there. There's going to be the Twisted Fate ultimate. He's going in towards the top lane. His Godbro's defensive duty is doing. He may well turn it into a kill here, and so is in all sorts of trouble. Throws out the cocoon. Is it going to be enough? The flash comes out. He will be, and he does go out of fail flash from Bjergsen. Oh my word. Oh my word.
That is a hard flash. Soaz did it perfectly. He really hugged the wall, and then Bjergsen made a blooper. He wasn't able to finish that one off. That would have been the kill if he could have gotten on a Soaz, but instead it's a Twisted Fate ultimate lost and the flash.
Instead they're going towards Deficio there. Yellow Star does not get the kill though, and then Rated just simply throws his snowballs into the face of Deficio. You know, throwing snowballs at a Dane, it's not wise.
Why not?
Because they're used to it.
Oh, okay.
They get a lot of snow in Denmark.
You learn something every day, I guess. I'm not familiar with the European cultures as much as you are.
Or the Atlas, it seems.
Nope.
No. As a Canadian, you know, you get a lot of snow as well. But nevertheless, moving on from this whole snow saga that's been plaguing Europe for the last 2 weeks. As it stands, it is going to be 0-0 in kills, 0-0 in towers, and gold, well, it's just a pretty much zero differentiation.
Yeah, I mean, it's the standard game of the standard lanes with
of the standardness.
Of the standardness of the we just came off a base race, so we used all of our
basically what
points.
We're saying is right now it's pretty boring because we just had a base race.
Well, in comparison to a base race, yeah, it's a little bit boring, but I mean, something will happen. It's a Fnatic game. It will end in split pushing. Xpeke is going to eventually use a pink ward.
Actually, you know, going back to the whole TSM Chaos Reginald argument, I was upstairs when Dragon Balls went up there.
Okay.
That's a real argument I watched while I was up there.
All right.
That was a real argument. That was not what I watched when I watched the Gaming Cribs or whatever the heck it's called.
Did you film it with your camera phone? Produce your own
no.
Dragon Crib show?
There was some true feelings coming out, I believe. But they're all right afterwards. They just basically just had a disagreement.
You just got to hash it out, right? A lot of these teams rage at each other like crazy, and then like, all right, that's that. Let's go play the game.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, you know, if we'd have done that, maybe it'd have been different. Who knows? But nevertheless, as it is the final game of the day. Copenhagen Wolves did beat Fnatic last time they faced each other. Can they do it again? Fnatic Peke there will still with a pink ward, has only used one and is just about to put another one down and try to keep... Which one did he just put down? Did he have a green?
Yeah, he had a green.
Okay.
He went to base with a green, and this is the weird thing. Fnatic has super overwarded the river. They got 6 wards in both sides of the river. They're looking to make something happen.
He's going aggressive on towards Bjergsen. The Gangplank ultimate comes down. Peke's going to finish him off. First blood comes out there, and it's going to be an assist as well for Cyanide.
And now they're going to look to make a move because they still have all the vision denial. They have a pink ward on the Dragon. I feel like as Cyanide's pushing out the mid lane, they should make a move for Dragon, but it looks like XPeke is hunting for Svenskeren.
When he puts the pink ward at the red buff, and they knew he was there straight away, and they see each other. That was pretty close engagement, but the bottom lane are not reacted to this one.
Yep, it's because they have no vision.
Oh,
Look
the Varus ultimate gets on
down.
towards the test. They're going to catch him out. There's Ice Blast comes in. Is Peke going to dive on towards this one? I don't think so. Deficio does keep him away. Are they going to stick around that bottom lane?
Up top.
He's going up the top there. Here comes Cyanide around the side. He has got the double buff as well. He's going to catch on towards Godbro. He's going to put the equalizer back on towards Soaz. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get close enough. He's going to repel in there. Can't quite close the damage. There's the test. He takes down Enrated. Peke comes in. The test goes down the turret on towards Peke. That's going to be a turnaround kill. It's Deficio that picks it up. Yellowstar wants to get in. He's got minions. Is he going to go aggressive on towards Deficio? I don't think so. He is not going to get away with this one. He's going to push on the turret. Godbro also went down in the top lane. Crazy action suddenly. Despite having 0-0, we suddenly get 5 kills. Oh, he didn't think he was there. Now he's going to come in. He should find the stun card. One more hit. Does get the stun card. Gets the barrier. Barrier comes out. Can he turn it back around? No, the ignite from Bjergsen gets it. Wow, low damage though.
He almost got bush juked out there by Yellowstar. He thought Yellowstar was going to try something clever, and he almost got fooled by him running straight away from him, but he was able to flash.
Oh, the Gangplank! No, it's not enough damage. Not got enough damage.
That was 2 ganks the Fnatic tried at the exact same time. One of them failed, one of them worked. They got 3 deaths in the bottom lane. Everyone eventually was killed, but they did finish off the Rumble. So after that, we got our action. It's kind of tied again.
Yeah, they've just thrown it all in one little bundle, and then it's like, yep, that's you guys done. You've had your fun, you've had your fill.
They used all their stuff. They gotta wait for it to come back.
They used all their stuff. Well, speaking of stuff, so as in this top lane is stuffing Godbro right now. He's keeping him all sorts of problems. Godbro, though, has managed to regain some of that farm problems. Of course, he did get ganked out, and here he goes again. Soaz just managing to just pour down the damage on him. And that's just how quick he can burst him.
Yeah, that looks like it hurts. I mean, the Twisted Fate gank that went up top really helped Godbro get back into that lane. And Svenskeren just walked around
cocoon,
a lot of wards.
the spider, any more? One more cube, will it be enough? No, it's not. And Godbro does hang on that health potion, chugging down, and Svenskeren's trying to come up to help him out, but that's going to give problems now for Bjergsen mid.
Yeah, but...
He's coming in.
Where's he coming in?
He's there. He's still on a ward.
Yeah, he's been stuck on that ward for about 30 seconds, and XPeke is just continually baiting him back and forth. He can get away at any time. That's why he's holding his ZW, so in case Jarvan the Fourth came in, he'd be able to bait him out. He's just playing with him.
He's toying with him. He didn't even bother getting the help of Cyanide. He's like, nah, don't fight. Look, Svenskeren's gone up and down that river 3 times now. 3 times, and now he's realized that, and it's actually Bjergsen's gone, Peke's chasing me in the jungle, I can't help.
He's got to get away from Zed. He's got the Brutalizer and the Bilgewater Cutlass, so he is packing a punch. Twisted Fate doesn't have his Zhonya's Hourglass yet. Once he gets that, though, he will be essentially kind of pseudo-immune to the XPeke Zed assassination, but XPeke doesn't care about that because at that point, he's going to be going for the test, and hopefully the split-push teamfight phase of Fnatic's game will be underway.
So Godbro returns to that top lane, hasn't completed any items, thinking, looking like Mercury Treads wants to try and get out of those cocoons as early as possible. Of course, that seems to be causing the problems. Soul Hunting Guys was picked up very early by Soaz. He looks to be doing the exact same as well, so he wants to get away from that equalizer that's been coming out from Godbro.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up working out for him. We got still, like, this is the crazy thing. The last game had 6 turrets down at like 20 minutes. This one's got no turrets down at 13 minutes. It's so much a laning game right now. And when we look at the lanes, they're actually pretty close, right? Like, Xpeke is beating Bjergsen by about 25, but that's made up for by the fact that the Tess is beating Yellowstar, right? So it's still very close.
And Peke takes a burst of damage from Bjergsen. We just saw Godbro putting a little burst down on towards Soaz as well. And like you say, very close across the board. Item-wise, gold-wise, everybody still very tight in this game. See where the advantages could come out. Right. Cyanide's got his ultimate. Everybody's got their ultimates available. Where will they create the opportunity?
This is the strange thing, because the last opportunity when Fnatic pulled off the double gank, they had preempted that by putting like 6 or 7 wards on the map. But at this moment, what's going on?
Peke was pinging on it, but he's not going to go for it.
So at this moment, I'll get it. I haven't lost my stuff. I'll catch it if it happens. At this moment, there's 6 wards on the map for Copenhagen Wolves, but only 2 for Fnatic. So if we see another crazy gank, I'd expect Copenhagen Wolves to initiate it. Bjergsen is using that vision denial in the mid lane to hopefully try to gank bottom, because Fnatic is kind of pushed up a bit.
So we have the Tess. He's just been back. He's got himself the Bloodthirster, so they have a power advantage in this bottom lane. Yellowstar is trying to clear it out. He needs to be very wary in the mid lane as well. We see Cyanide coming out towards Bjergsen. Bjergsen with that yellow card selected is not going to cause anything. No ward placements in the bottom.
Yep, and this is where Svenskeren, he thinks he's on a ward, and somehow Fnatic backed up. I think they saw him when he entered the jungle from his own red side, and that's why they're backing off. So heads up play, knowing he'd come around for that. And here's the Peke ult.
Here's the ultimate going in towards Bjergsen, but doesn't manage to land the damage. Turns back around, puts the stun card and the wild card back through him, and trades pretty much even damage between the two. But that was an ultimate used.
Yeah, we'll see if Xpeke can farm up and shove to punish Bjergsen from doing that, but he's got the lifesteal. Jarvan's going to come up to hold the lane. It basically just burned the Zed ultimate, and not much cost for Copenhagen Wolves as they push bottom.
Oh, Peke reading that like a book there. Deficio has managed to help take the bottom turret. Cyanide's going to come around the side. There's the Gangplank ultimate to get the slowdown. He's going to get Parlay on towards the Test. Happened to use that barrier already. He's going to have the Ice Blast now on towards him. The slow again. Absolute Zero slow him a little bit more. Wild Growth trying to keep him alive a little bit longer, but he will go down. And now the slow on towards Deficio. They can tower dive this one. It's Cyanide that's tanking it up. They hit, run, and now here goes Bjergsen on towards Yellowstar. The Ignite goes down. One more card is not going to be enough. He will back away. We got Svenskeren coming in.
Svenskeren gonna try to get something, but I think Fnatic's far enough away. There's the dunk!
Bang! Slam dunk, and he's gonna get baited into this one. He puts the barrier out, and Peke thought about coming in there, but he just backs away from this one. Top turret also going down, so has been successful in the top.
Yeah, so meanwhile, as all the action's happening bottom, Soaz still working onto Godbro. They're just beating him down up there. 1,500 gold advantage. Still no Dragon taken 16 minutes in, but Fnatic brute forced that gank from Cyanide. Good work for them.
We've had about 16 minutes of nothing and 30 seconds of jam-packed solid action.
Every time something happens, it's happening in top and bottom.
Well done to Unso, the cameraman, right now. And Mute helping him out here. Godbro again getting pressured. The Ignite going on towards him, but Soaz is not going to be able to finish this one else. Peke's being chased out. Can they pressure this in towards the mid turret?
Well, the thing is, we have Cyanide coming down in the mid lane. He has no ultimate, and it's a 4-man stack. Peke is trying to lifesteal up enough from the race so they'd be able to hold this, but the Ezreal ultimate comes in. Creep wave arriving in about 5 seconds. I think Fnatic can get there in time to defend.
Could throw the standard down. It's going to be Bjergsen tanking it up here. The Gangplank ultimate comes in. Cyanide runs straight through, trying to get him towards the Tess, who just arcane shifts away.
But that is a Gangplank ultimate burned. I guess it's a trade for the Tess's Ezreal ultimate. It looks like Copenhagen Wolves is now going back, but because Fnatic moved up to defend, they could be risking a counter push on their own turret.
He could see them. Yellowstar was there. Cyanide is there. They could either go for Dragon or, looking like it's going to be the Dragon, in fact. They're going to come around. Cyanide's going straight for it. Say, they've all gone back. Let's get in here. Of course, the Test doesn't have his True Shot Barrage available.
But Godbro's running down from top lane as quickly as possible. Bjergsen is in Twisted Fate ultimate range. They can't finish this one off. If they do,
everybody's there.
Honestly, Copenhagen Wolves will be here in time. This would be a brawl if it happens.
As are Fnatic, you can see Soaz and Peke is going to come down to join the party. Everybody will be invited, and everybody is going to come in there. The Cocoon misses out from Soaz just at the top of your screen. The Tess is trying to pick around. Equalizer comes down. It's Cyanide that kills it up with the smite, and they back off.
Fnatic was so weak in that situation. The equalizer really got them low, but Copenhagen Wolves couldn't pull the trigger on that fight. They were not comfortable in their positioning. Xpeke was flanking around the side, and they were worried about his assassination potential in a potential fight, but that was Gifted Dragon, essentially.
Gifted Dragon, purely trying to take the advantage. However, it's one turret apiece, and it is the mid turret, sorry, the bottom turret and the top turret that are down, but the mid turret very low currently for Fnatic. Is the blue card's going to go across to Bjergsen? Can he pull off some magic like he has done many, many times in the past? Doesn't want to go in towards that bush. The banana bush was warded up. Peke comes around, thought about it, but it's already gone.
We'll see if another victory is in the cards for Bjergsen's team of Wonder Kids. I had it going, and then I decided to ruin it, but now we have this split push going down the side. This is the worst part about having people in the studio. They laugh at your failures.
And they almost fall off the chairs.
Yeah.
And some of them just do. Sorry, insider information. Oh, there's going to be the teleport coming in. Where will Bjergsen go? He's going to go in towards Cyanide. He's got Peke with him. He's going to jump and repel, but he's got nowhere to go from this one. He's going to try and run them in the opposite direction. He already knew he was dead.
Yeah, he had over-pushed. They didn't have the ward coverage, and the split push punishment came out from Bjergsen. That's the reason they picked Twisted Fate. He lost the lane to Zed, but that's the reason they want him.
That is exactly why they wanted him. How do you deal with Fnatic? You get a split push counter in the form of Twisted Fate in that mid lane, but it does, of course, leave you a little bit open. But as it stands, it's going to be the Copenhagen Wolves pushing on towards this middle turret. They're going to get it. It's going to be the second turret of the game. They can turn this one into a kill, but there's going to be the Varus ultimate catching in towards it. The Gangplank ultimate comes down as well. The Yellow Star on towards Svenskeren, but the equalizer splits them in half. They back off. True Shot Barrage comes out. Peke wanted to get involved, but they are all going to back off once again.
They could not walk through that Rumble ultimate. They would have basically killed themselves. Xpeke was trying to flank down, but he wasn't there in time. So that is a turret taken. Now 2 turrets to 1, and I gotta say, this game is extremely close. Fnatic being the only 10-win team in the European LCS against the only 10-loss team in Copenhagen Wolves, hopefully aren't having flashbacks to their last defeat here.
I got a question, you know, they've got their double blade of the Rune King, but they've got the wrong mid this time. Bjergsen is there. It's not the King. It's not the Elo King. Pharrell Lord has changed teams.
They can't kill the Elo blade with their own blades of the Ruined King. I really like that one, but he even played for Copenhagen Wolves earlier.
You showed saying, I really like that one.
I did really like that
Just
one.
tell your voice.
It was so genuine.
Oh my word. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are 21 minutes coming into this game, and it is just 1,000 gold between them, 1 kill difference and 1 tower difference. It is Copenhagen Wolves currently, I would say, with the advantage, but they are actually down in gold.
Yeah, I'd actually say Fnatic still has the edge here, because until you contain Fnatic, you haven't really beaten them. And Fnatic is, again, done the ward play, right? It's the swingiest ward game I've seen in a while. It's either Copenhagen Wolves with full coverage or Fnatic with full coverage, and there's really no in-between. And because of that full coverage, Copenhagen Wolves is scared to go in their jungle. This is a free turret.
This is a free turret. Nobody anywhere near it one. And it is going to be Yellow Star and Enraged taking that away. That Blood Boil is going to cause problems when they do get much higher levels, and Yellow Star is just going to be beating the heck out of people. Look at this. We saw it against SK Gaming, Soaz and Peke. How do you stop the combos?
Yeah, it's the tag team, right? The 2 solo laners that build straight up damage and just wait in odd places and try to finish you off. Unless you're willing to initiate on them hard, you can't stop it.
A great equalizer there, and M-Rated burning down. True Shot Barrage finishes him off. Yellow Star with the barrier already running. Cataclysm comes in from Svenskeren. Bam! Out of it. And they are now going to be Cyanide. He's having to use the Gangplank ultimate, and Soaz was coming down to help, and he's like, screw you guys, I'm off. I'm going to go mid. I'm going to try and keep this, give us some sort of advantage, trying to the Copenhagen Wolves picking up 2 kills for nothing.
That's what Copenhagen Wolves is going to want to keep doing to take down Fnatic. They expected Xpeke and Soaz were waiting in a strange spot. So there's the strange spot they might get.
There's the cocoon, and Soaz goes leaping in. He manages to land the stun card, but the Ignite is running. He can repel, dive, chase. He's going to come around. Bam! Bang! Sank in, and Soaz takes down Bjergsen.
Right back at them. So it was a 2 for 0, followed by just the assassination by Soaz. And Xpeke has still got an assassination in his pocket because he didn't even fight. It's really... This game's going to be crazy about Copenhagen Wolves hard initiating when Xpeke and Soaz are looking for the plays. But if they don't give them the play opportunities, that's what Copenhagen Wolves is going to have to do.
6-6 currently. And again, another lively encounter between the Copenhagen Wolves and Fnatic. you know, we were talking, I was saying upstairs, you know, do you think they're going to do it again? Do you think they're going to do it again? Everyone's like, no. Fnatic they're playing too well right now. They're looking too good, they're looking too strong. Incorellia said it as well. All the players have said it the same, but it's a lively game again.
Bjergsen is not to be messed with, and neither is the rest of the team, right? Because Bjergsen hasn't even been that amazing for Copenhagen Wolves this time. The rest of the team is stepping up. XPeke hasn't put a super amount of focus on shutting him down either. It's really just been the Tess farming up pretty even with Yellow Star. Godbro, despite losing his turret and losing early to Soaz, is much higher farm than a lot of the earlier Rumbles we've seen this week in the LCS, and his equalizers have been on point.
I was about to say, them equalizers have been amazing. That's kind of what basically helped out in that last fight. As it stands, he is back in the mid lane, and he has Soaz against him. Soaz, as you mentioned, has out-farmed him, and he's going to become a problem because that burst potential from Soaz is very high right now. And
we'll see if Copenhagen Wolves is feeling confident enough here. The Dragon is back up. The last one was just gifted to Fnatic because the flank potential of Soaz and XPeke was too great for Copenhagen Wolves to handle. They have to go all in if they're going to go. Here we go.
There's Soaz. He throws out the cocoon. He didn't land. The stun card comes out. Tree Shot Barrage and Equalizer catch on towards Fnatic. Is it going to be enough? They dive in. Cataclysm comes out. He has to flash straight out, though. Peke tried to dive in towards the back line. He's going to get dropped. The exhaust is down. Absolute zero. Full channel from M-Rated forces many of them to flash, so they have managed to take down Peke, but can they get any more? Godbro goes down. Bjergsen taken low. Soaz does manage to pick up another one. Essentially tell the lights. Yellow Star that took down Godbro. And would you believe it? It's an even trade. It's a 1-for-1, but it's Fnatic. They're going to get Dragon again.
We got the brawl that we've been waiting for 24 minutes. A complete clash of all 10 people on the map, burning all their ultimates. I don't see a summoner spell that's off cooldown aside from Smite from Svenskeren. Everything was used in that fight. And it was just a 1-for-1. You know, they backed away for the Dragon. Honestly, I thought that was going to be a disaster for Fnatic because without the true tank line, with the double assassin, fighting 5v5 like that is usually something they want to avoid. But they clashed straight in the Copenhagen Wolves and actually came out a little bit on top.
Yeah, and I feel it's simply a case of Soaz came out of that banana bush and caught them a little bit by surprise. They saw the rest of the team and suddenly these fangs come out the side there, and it's kind of like, oh, anyone really seen a spider of that size? I'm pretty sure I'd jump.
Yeah. I would jump as well, and there's no Lulu to make a giant spider. I love it when you multiply the size of spiders. I mean, I think it was Quickshot that loves the Volibear more than anything else. I like giant spiders for some reason, because apparently I hate arachnophobiacs, and I just don't want them to watch League of Legends. But from here, I think we're going to see more of the same strategy from Fnatic. You see the split pushing of XPeke going out the side, and Soaz is still going Assassin Elise. He's not doing that Void Boy, Warmogs Elise tank dive in. He's about the flank and the assassination.
It's a funny whole thing because, you know, you see a spider and you think, oh, some people would just be like, oh, goddamn. You see a great big polar bear and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure that polar bear would tear you a new one. pretty much 99% of the time over a spider any day of the week. But it is going to be Fnatic pushing in towards that mid lane. The pressure going on towards it. They do have, of course, the volley shot going across. Bjergsen taking a quick arrow to the face. It wasn't to the knee this time. They are going to keep pressure on the turret.
Fnatic not really going for the split push here either. Straight up the mid turret. I missed it. Whatever you said, it's gone. Your big grin right into my face, and I'm like, nope, they're pushing mid. That's what I see right now.
Skyrim reference completely lost there on you, so...
Yes.
Yes.
Entirely lost.
Nevertheless, Copenhagen Wolves are looking to try and make a play here. It is actually Fnatic that's kind of trying to pressure on towards that mid, but they just can't get anything going right now. As it stands, they are just going to keep on pushing.
Yeah, we'll see why they have decided not to split push in this situation. A lot of it could just be Bjergsen's twisted fate, trying to keep them under control and successfully keeping them under control a little bit. Like, they have gotten in trouble when they've tried the assassination brushes. They did manage to trade back that 1-2-for-1 after a near disaster in a team fight. So maybe the super global type picks of Copenhagen Wolves is successfully shutting down Fnatic split push, but it's still not giving them a victory because they're down 3,000 gold.
They're going in for this turret. The Gangplank Ultimate's going to try and keep them away. The Cannon Barrage does manage to turn them around. They're thinking of going for this, though. It's bait, though. Peke comes in towards that tri-bush. There's 3 of them up the top. Peke just staying off the back there. Will have spotted the ward out from the Godbro. He isn't going to go for it, but in the mid lane, There's 3 members of Fnatic pushing in, so it's a back and forth action. Yellowstar's going to take this turret down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade-off, Phil. The top turret will be given up. Yes, it is. It's a 1-for-1, 3-3 in turrets.
Yeah, that's the turret race, but now Copenhagen Wolves is trapped between everyone on Fnatic. Bjergsen's going to have to get out of here because this is the fight.
This is the fight, but they're going to turn and take it. Cataclysm in towards Peke. Svenskeren went deep, but the rest of his team weren't reacting to this because they didn't spot them coming up there. The Godbro will get taken down by Soas, and now Svenskeren is running. Slides straight in. Peke followed him through a little bit too quick. Here comes Bjergsen. Quickly flashes away. Is he going to catch on towards anyone? He does have that stun gun. Oh, the flash cocoon from Soas didn't quite catch on, and now the test gets caught out there, and he just gets exploded.
That was a big spike at the end when Yellowstar threw out that chain of corruption. They didn't expect it to still be up. The test was trying to flank around. Very crazy, chaotic fight, but that is exactly what Fnatic wants, and that is exactly what they need. Look at all the wards together in the Baron area. This is how Fnatic plays. More fights like that, they're going to come away with the win.
So Peke making a run down the bottom here. I think he wants to shove that bottom wave. So wild play so far. But it is a 5,000 gold almost lead now built up by Fnatic. So they are slowly but surely clawing out big advantages against the Copenhagen Wolves. And as it is, the team fights have been a little bit scrappy, I feel, from the Wolves, when honestly, I think they could have taken one of them.
Yeah, and the big thing about the team fights not going their way, Aegis of the Legion being completed on N-rated against the double AP already of Copenhagen Wolves. He's got a null magic as well, so he's getting close to that runic bulwark. They are building more team fight-centric items this time, that is Fnatic, because they know they can't necessarily win with split push. They still had a really good positional battle that gave them that last one, but they're gearing up to just be able to brawl and brute force their way through.
Well, bottom wave has been completely tidied up by the combo of Godbro and the test. Let's have a look at the items, finally. Now we have a remote lull in the play. It is looking like an Infinity Edge possibly going to come out for the test next. He's already got the Bloodthirster and Static Shift compared to Yellowstar, who honestly has played a fantastic Varus so far, landing that ultimate. Blade of the Rune King, Bloodthirster, and a Zeal, and looking like a Phantom Dancer going to come out there. Oh no,
he's actually going,
just said, screw that, I'm going to go
screw that
Infinity Edge.
Well, if they're getting kills and assists in those fights, he doesn't need as much attack speed. Varus gets rolling once the fights begin, which with an Assassin comp is much easier for him to get an assist early on, so that could be why he's going for the Infinity Edge right now, and the Blood Boil, so he's going to be able to just kick off that attack speed. Want to go through more on this, but I feel like Sauce is going to find himself a snap.
Deficio has been completely caught. He's making a run for it here. He's got the Oracle on. And he was just nearly face-checked straight in towards Cyanide and N-rated.
That was not to be, though. I mean, Deficio managed to sneak away, popped a Glitter Lance, and was safe. Dragon again in 9 seconds. This could be the 3rd Dragon of the game, and I don't feel like Copenhagen Wolves is in all kinds of position to get this one. Bjergsen's going back to base. He just picked up blue buff. No one's even thinking of a steal. Maybe the test would try a blind ult in, but that thing died so fast, it's not even worth it.
No, didn't even come close to engaging for it, initiating for it. I don't even know whether they had the timing for it. I would assume they did.
Oh man, the test is in trouble here actually. There's 4 men stacked.
Out. He's
if
well
they
out.
land anything...
Oh, the Varus ultimate miss, as does the Cocoon. And that was a little bit...
off the wayside. Yeah. Missed the backside of the barn with that chain of corruption. That was nowhere close, unfortunately. Luckily, he's only got 73 more seconds to wait before that one comes up. And they fought over the objective. They're fine. Fnatic can weather the storm.
They can weather the storm, and as it stands, they're on the red buff. Fnatic kind of, you can see they're actually half-heartedly like, should we? No, we're back off, we're bye.
We gotta use the Varus ultimate that managed to secure the final kill in our last fight. Let's wait on that one, I think is what they were saying. And they're a patient team. The way they chaotically split push, they don't rush. I mean, N-rated has just been saying, we had the lead, why would we push? We can just split. Why would we ever fight? It's too much risk. Let's just go crazy and risk getting caught and losing the game in a base race and things. But in their minds, that's the way to play.
So there is the Infinity Edge being picked up by the test. So tons of damage. Effectively, I guess you could, it's like a whole new Triforce. The swords are pointing in the right direction, so yeah, that's what counts.
Whose swords are pointing at? Is it the X-Pekes? The Tess?
The Tess.
The Infinity Edge is in the opposite direction.
Oh, good lord. I didn't even just...
You've been on air for way too long, man. You're just seeing things, opposite directions. Soon we're gonna have like the green side winning a fight. Like, what is this?
Go cross-eyed here. Oh, it does look like the Cocoon's gonna get thrown towards Bjergsen, but it's not going to land.
Nope, that one missed. I mean, maybe it did land. Who knows? We don't know what we're looking at. Maybe the game is over. I mean, maybe it's actually, maybe we're watching MLG right now.
We've been lied to the whole time. Suddenly we're casting MLG. What is happening right now? I don't know. Where am I?
It's gone loopy.
It's gone loopy. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen, here at the European LCS. And it is only going to get longer because it doesn't look like this game is going to end anytime soon, because Fnatic and Copenhagen Wolves are just having a little dance around the mid lane.
Yeah, at this point, though, all the summoner spells are back up, all the ultimates are back up, and we've had a few just throw off the gloves and brawl moments in this game. I just wonder if another one's going to develop, because have we reached that point in the game where Fnatic says, screw it, we're not 5v5 team fighting? Are they going to pull off some ridiculous play? Are we going to see another base race? Like, something will break pretty soon.
Speaking of brawling, there's an item I've not seen for a good few weeks.
Yeah, Iceborne gauntlets. You sometimes call it the Ironborn gauntlets.
I know.
Iceborne. And then I just about did it because we spend too much time together in mind. In spirit.
It's been like 2 or 3 days.
I know.
3 days is too long already.
Yeah.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
It's going to be good for him, though, because the slow area applies on the parlay shot for Cyanide, but it also applies the melee slow, since parlay counts as a melee attack. So that will be better for them chasing down. There's so much mobility, kite, and initiation on Fnatic. They're just going to use this to try to control the positioning even more.
Well, the test down the bottom. Oh, and he's shown himself. He's shown his hand. And Fnatic may well try and shove this one down their throat. They're going to try and bully out the mid lane. Soaz maybe get engaged on. Are they going to go for anything here? They do manage to try and throw it towards Svenskeren. Svenskeren does engage here. Equalizer goes down, but it's a 2v3. Finally, Bjergsen joins the fight. The test is going to come up as well. True Shot Paraz does land across. Soaz is going to go down, but it's going to be before. No, Svenskeren's gone away. Would you believe it? Now Bjergsen is going to try and get on towards it. Godbro's running away from the fight. It's Yellowstar getting caught down. The wildcard comes through. The test picks up a double kill, and now Bjergsen pops the ultimate. He's going towards Rated, I think, and he's going to decide for finally. Wasn't sure which way to go. Oh, Beckett comes up with the stun guard. Now he's going to get the exhaust down. The absolute zero comes out from Rated. The test takes him down. He's got a triple. Can he get the quadra? Yes, he can. It's a quadra kill for the test. Wow, what a turnaround from Copenhagen Wolves.
Nothing Fnatic did finished off the targets. They started the fight undermanned. The test just slowly finished them off. The shields came through. There's double lock of the Iron Solari on Copenhagen Wolves right now. And Luvo,
Cyanide, what are you doing, Cyanide? What are you doing? You can't go 5v1 against anyone. And that is effectively the pentakill for the test.
Killed all 5 members one at a time. It just doesn't show up in the stat sheet for him, but here we go. Baron taking. This is going to bring the gold really close, and the buff is going to be powerful enough for them to do things. The fact that Fnatic had that fight, even though they were undermanned, is going to make them really cautious to do it again. Initiate the plan. Split push for Fnatic right now. They're tired of fighting. Will they be able to avoid Bjergsen? Will they be able to avoid Godbro? Because I don't see Soaz doing something like that again. I don't see them engaging in those 2v4s and just hoping they can flank around the side because they're so far ahead, because they are not. And they're in danger of losing again to the Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, the European LCS has thrown up many, many wild matches so far. And this could well be the last one. Certainly for me, for around about 3 weeks, but it is going to be an exciting one nonetheless, because that was a slow but sure pentakill from the test. It's good to see in the last final game. And he goes back, gets himself a Warmogs.
That's going to be extremely good for him. The fact that XPeke and Soaz are going to be wanting to dive on him in any team fight, since he has turned himself into the threat. Bjergsen can Zhonya's Hourglass off if Zed goes for him. But now the test could hopefully just tank it out. He's got so much gold from that last fight. He's clearly doing enough damage since he picked up all 5 kills in the last fight. Picking up that defensive item was the right choice.
They've just pinged on and said, look, Soaz is top, push it. And they're going straight for it. That is what they're going to do. It's going to be Cyanide diving. Cataclysm goes down. The Equalizer drops on top of him. He's just stood in there. He will get taken down. It's Bjergsen that picks up the kill, and they're going to keep pushing.
And they have enough health that the Baron region is going to keep them up. They're trying to flank around the side of Soaz, but if Copenhagen Wolves get some healing, they're going to go.
Great ultimate from Yellowstar. They're going to go towards Deficio. Had to use the wild growth. It's going to pop him up. It's going to be end-rated with the absolute zero. And now Godbro gets dropped down. You can see just off the side, it's Yellowstar with a double. He's going to go towards Bjergsen. He stands doing a high-five dance, tries to pick up a kill, but it's a triple kill for Yellowstar. And now that's an ace for Fnatic, pushing down the bottom. They're going to have to go a long way to meet the last match. They're going to have 3 Barons, base races, the lot, but it's possible.
the ace back right after that, and that was the most unexpected ace, which is why it pulled Copenhagen Wolves by surprise. I was thinking they were going to go for an inhibitor, and Fnatic had to just run away, but the Baron regen had not kicked in yet. Copenhagen Wolves was not ready to be initiated on, and the biggest thing is Xpeke got clean onto the test, full comboed him, finished him off, and these death timers are so long, the first inhibitor of the game is to Fnatic.
And this is going to go down. So they extend the gold lead. 6,000 gold. Complete Baron wiped off the map from Copenhagen Wolves. Advantage gained, advantage lost. And it is, again, Fnatic back in the lead. 38 minutes into this game, 5-4 into it. And that one important inhibitor has gone down. What will the Wolves do to counter?
They need to do more team fighting. Obviously, because Fnatic's trying to split push, they have to just get on them. The split second of indecision where Fnatic initiated in on them was what cost them in that last one. Maybe they're going to wait for the next Baron. Only having the mid inhibitor down is okay for them. They're farmed enough that they can finish off any kind of super minion wave that comes down through the mid for them. So, yeah, Copenhagen Wolves really just has to hope on another fortunate team fight.
They have to see how it works out for them. Bjergsen in this top lane, wiping out the waves and basically putting a split push on towards Fnatic. Not too sure how brave he's feeling, though. Doesn't seem like he wants to do it for too long. And we do see Peke, who has just picked up a last whisper to go with the Black Cleaver, Blade of the Rune King, and Warmugs.
So any armor that is going to be tried to build against him isn't really going to work, which is kind of why the test decided to go for the Warmugs. Black Cleaver Last Whisper is going to be very, very huge, especially if Xpeke can get some kind of good E or Q off in the middle of the team. He's going to be amping Yellowstar's damage so much. Yellowstar hasn't picked up a Last Whisper of his own, and with the way his build path is going, I don't think he's ever going to get there. So it's kind of an interesting contrast because Copenhagen Wolves could build armor to deal with Yellowstar, but they can't build armor to deal with Xpeke, so the fact that Xpeke over armor pen allows Yellowstar to under armor pen because Copenhagen Wolves doesn't really know which direction to go.
They're trying to get a poke on towards them as it is. Godbro is back down that bottom lane, split push farming. And Peke is about to do the same, head up towards the top there. So Fnatic did drive them back. And cleverly, Copenhagen Wolves back off. So they need Fnatic to kind of make that mistake engage which they did in the middle, which kind of started the snowball off a little bit for Copenhagen Wolves. They have managed to move around, rotate, get in a defensive position, expected the top lane to be pushed.
Yeah, and this is the siege that may end it. I wonder if Fnatic's going to try to flank around the backside or whether Copenhagen Wolves are just going to jump in on Fnatic the instant they see them. You can see the tag team sitting in the brush right there, Xpeke and Soaz, wanting to just wait. You see they actually pinged the bottom wave. They're worried about this over pushing. I think Fnatic might actually be very patient here unless they land a stun, and I could be caught completely wrong.
Well, they're going to have super minions shoving the mid lane themselves, so they're going to get slowly but surely poke on towards it. You can see the damage from Yellowstar is quite substantial on that turret right now because he has that Infinity Edge, Black Cleaver, Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Rune King, and a big Warmog's belt there just to strap him in, keep all those swords on his belt.
And this is all about Fnatic waiting for the super minions to push. Bjergsen just left, so he does have a Twisted Fate ultimate to go, but if Soaz lands any kind of cocoon, I think they'll go on almost any target. The Tess doesn't have nearly as much damage, but Svenskeren, what are they going to go?
What are they doing? The Twisted Fate ultimate has come out and it's going to get cancelled out there. Bjergsen was going to come in. He thought, what, should we go for it? And just immediately reacted. The True Shot Barrage fired off down the bottom. When Bjergsen had already gone down there. Not too sure why. Nevertheless, they are pushing on towards the inhibitor turret.
Total miscommunication there by Copenhagen Wolves, leaving Fnatic this window. I wonder if they will over-aggress. Home Guard Boots going to be coming out to fly against them. Minion wave arriving. Let's see if they push.
Well, they are trying to keep them at bay from this inhibitor turret. Would be the second one of the game. And look at that. Yellowstar getting that little poke on it every single time. Bjergsen tries to run out. That Lich Bane showing. Does manage to land on Cyanide, but he's not going to do a great deal of damage. Fnatic, they're just going to step away.
And this slow push might make Copenhagen Wolves a little bit impatient. They almost have to initiate at this point. You can see Jarvan 4 just went back and got Home Guard Boots. I wonder if he's going to wait in base long enough, then just fly in and go for the Cataclysm to start the fight. Fnatic doesn't know that he'd be coming with that speed. Let's see if it happens.
Let's see if we get a Flying Prince of Denmark.
No.
No. Thought about it, but he got
straight into a Living Shadow.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. They poke back and forward, but the turret down to half hit points now. And Fnatic continue this siege. They have super minions now back in that mid lane again. So somebody will have to deal with them. It's almost like they're trying to bait them out, saying, come out of your base a little bit. And look at that. They're not backing off. They're just trying to buy their time.
Yeah, and they bought the time for the Baron to come back up. So they still have a slight inhibitor time where they can go.
And,
they finally flanked.
Completely caught out of position. This is what I thought that might happen. Godbro is going to get tokens. Focus there. They do manage to get one kill down, but it's going to be Godbro goes down. So you can see the test picking up one kill. Svenskeren trying to chase on towards Soaz. Soaz is so low, but he does go down. And Rated into all sorts of trouble. It's a 2 for 2. The test picking up another double kill here. Can it trace in? Soaz going to be the focus target. Wildcards comes out. It's Cyanide. He tries to catch on, but those Iceborne gauntlets, god damn them, items with the big blue glowing hands, does catch out. Peke, though, in all sorts of trouble. He goes down. It's a triple kill for the Test once again.
And they capitalized on what looked like a mistake of their own. So Fnatic initiated hard in, but they just didn't have enough. Copenhagen Wolves is showing they have the superior team fight composition in this one, and they really just have to survive. The Baron is up, but because everyone was so low, we're going to reset this one. So now it gets really interesting because the kills are 16 to 16. Even though the gold is 6,000, that doesn't matter in team fights because Copenhagen Wolves is ahead. The Test has held off the super minions in that mid lane, which means the inhibitor advantage is essentially negated. Fnatic has the vision at the Baron buff though, so if they go in and wait in a brush like they want to, that's the situation they're going to want to go into. But Copenhagen Wolves has a real shot.
The Test now has a complete 6-item build as well, with the boots upgraded. So everything is ready and waiting to go. Soaz takes down the blue buff with a little, just like a staring competition, I feel, with the golem there. And then the golem just went, no, I'm dead.
He's gone. Soaz finished it.
It's almost like there was a lag spike, but...
Spider vs. Golem. He's so quick, you can't see him. I don't know. Quick as a spider? Is that a...
No,
that's not a saying,
That's not a saying. That's not a saying. Maybe in Canada, I don't know.
I don't think
you could have just said it was, and everybody would have believed you.
It's a saying in Canada.
Yeah. Or just made up a town or something. It's like, it's a strong saying there.
In Saskatchewan.
That's
made up, right?
Why not? Why not? Soaz is going to take down that, and you can see the Test actually showing himself in that top lane. Soaz will take down the Dragon. That's going to stretch their gold lead back to 5,000. But 5,000, when you're looking at 70, is not the biggest of margins.
No, and the fact that everyone's pretty much level 18, a lot of the times gold advantages are just indicators of level advantages, and then not only are they like 5,000 gold up, but they have a bunch of extra stats as well. Not the case in this game since we're 45 minutes in, and everyone except the supports are max level.
And the Oracle, sorry, of Deficio and the Test, actually, they both got it. That just shows that the Test has got too much gold. He's like, well, I can't buy any items, I'm going to start stacking Oracles.
Yeah, 1,000 gold just sitting on him. He could maybe do the Zephyr thing where you sell your boots, but I think he really wants the Berserker Spears and mainly the home guard from this situation. But Xpeke is the one who's picked up the Oracles for his team, and this is going to be it. They're trying to stall the Test, trying to get that red buff beforehand, but they're worrying. This could be the final 5v5 brawl.
Oh, and they've got to be so worrisome that they don't go in. Deficio, treading ever so lightly as he goes in. There's explosive spiders from Soaz, and again, they're trying to clear it out. Really, what is the best way to engage here?
The thing that Copenhagen Wolves wants is a fight in the jungle. They actually want to get Fnatic to come into them, but if they just sit on the Baron, the fight's not going to be in the right spot.
Yeah, they do get the poke. Oh, Bjergsen was about to go back and buy, but he cancelled it. But a single Dimash's standard stopped them on the Baron.
Fnatic is looking, actually, it seems to bait a fight right here, but Rumble Ultimate is so dangerous in potential choke points like this, and he's, you know, even though he's just 05, he's still doing a lot of the stuff.
They're going in wrong.
They're got a lot of damage in.
What are they doing? The Svenskeren's off pushing the base. He shouldn't be split pushing, it should be Bjergsen.
They're split pushing Fnatic right now. They're going for the turret.
Fnatic back in. They could try and push on towards the inhibitor turret. The rest of the team are going to react. They're going to get in towards there. They're going to get a hell of a lot of damage down on towards the inhibitor turret, but it could be the death of them.
Home guard boots flying in. Their teleport ults going.
Gangplank goes in. There goes Peke. Is he going to dive in? And Varus ultimate lands perfectly. They do manage to get away from it. The Tree Shot Barrage landed across this as well. And they do disengage so well. They're going to turn back on towards Cyanide. They're going to pull a whole lot of damage down on him. He gets away with it, but only so slightly. And that's effectively going to make it a 4v5. What will Copenhagen do to counter this?
This is what fights look like when you don't have tank lines. No one wants to go in, so they just poke at each other. They sit far back, but they're so They're not healthy right now. They're walking through where they have double oracles. Soaz is bottom lane, so this Baron might go down, or they're just going to fight a 3v5, which will turn into a 4v5 later.
There, Soaz is way out of position. Now he's going to rush with it, but look how quick that Baron is going down. There's a lot of damage. Peke throws his shadow in there, tries to get any sort of advantage. The stun card goes out. It's enrated. The caught on less than ideal. Equalizer splits them apart. Peke goes in. Can he get on towards him? Enrated pops off. The Tess has been exhausted off the side. The Tess is going to 1v1 with Yellowstar just to the bottom screen. It's going to be Peke. Peke hanging on. He goes down. Deficio gets it. The more important fight, though, is the Tess taking incredibly low. Repel comes out. The Tess is having to run away from this one. Fnatic are going to win out the fight. They get forced away. Deficio gets dropped. It's a 3-for-1 for Fnatic, and now the Tess is running for his life.
The chaos was created by Copenhagen Wolves that time, and the fact that Fnatic was down men didn't really matter. Soaz and Xpeke wrecked face that fight. Mainly Xpeke got super in on Zed, was essentially 1v3, and it allowed Yellowstar to get the flank on the Test with no protection. This could be the Baron, but now Rumble and the ults didn't work.
A little bit too late there. But more importantly for me, that was a 1v1 Yellowstar versus the Test. And the Yellowstar absolutely outright won that without any problems.
So we're looking at this, and it could be the fact that he's got the Blade of the Ruined King instead. Just the Blade of the Ruined King. What's he for the last Whisper?
Because that's going to work well against the Warmogs.
Yeah, that's the thing, because there's no armor necessarily on the Test. The Blade of the Ruined King is more effective against him, and the Warmogs is getting somewhat negated by the % current health damage. So just because of that matchup,
and the Blood Boil with the Phantom Dancer, he's up probably much full attack speed, I guess.
And especially since it was near the middle or end of the fight, if he had an assist or a kill, he would have had the attack speed buff on top of that. So, you know, that's the late game battle. He outranged him by 75 as well, so, or 25 as well. So if Yellowstar actually lands a full range Chain of Corruption on the Test can't auto attack him if Yellowstar decides to hit him, if they ever get in that brawl situation again.
So we have Fnatic with the Baron up. They are 19-7 up in kills, 17 up in kills, 10,000 gold lead. So ordinarily you'd think, wow, they're getting stopped. Not so much so though at 70,000 and 80,000.
No, that's not a point at this. Like, Yellowstar actually just sold his Home Guard Berserker's Greaves because I think he wanted to buy a Zephyr, but he couldn't afford it, so he bought Berserker's Greaves again and left his base. So gold is not a thing necessarily for them right now. That 10,500 gold advantage isn't that impactful. It's all about inhibitors. It's all about the Baron buff that they have right now. It's all about this next potential fight. Whether or not Xpeke can get to the backline, whether or not mainly the Test can get taken down, are the things we have to watch for.
And it's the exhaust I'm looking towards. Deficio doesn't have one to deal with Peke, who's been causing so many problems. He's the man that's been leaping through. There's going to be the inhibitor. It is the final one exposed. Are they going to fight for it? Bjergsen throwing out everything he can. They're trying to keep them away from this one. They don't want to give up this inhibitor because it would surely bully them back. But they're up against the Baron up team here. There's the Cocoon from Soaz. It's not going to land this target.
And in these 5v5 engages, we actually haven't seen a team fight. We only get the fight when someone thinks they have the other team out of position, then it just kind of happens. So they're going to slowly push this inhibitor down. This would be the moment where Copenhagen Wolves would just have to go because there's too many minions pushing the top lane and the inhibitor is under too much pressure.
They are under pressure. And they crack at their eyes, so you can see Peke is going to throw out. The Cocoon lands on towards Godbro, but you can see it's Svenskeren that engages. The exhaust, will it be enough? Are they going to go in towards it? Where is Peke? Peke's going off the side. The Wild Gun's going to pop him up. Peke does take down one. It's Godbro that gets dropped. The Test does manage to get a kill on towards Yellowstar, but he's taken down by Soaz. So it is both ADs down. Bjergsen throws the stun card on towards Soaz, but he gets dropped. It's going to be a 4-for-1 engage, and Fnatic are going to finally take victory. We do see a little Deficio coming out, yodeling his way in there, but the little answers are not going to be enough to stop the might of Fnatic picking up the win and going 3-0 in this weekend.
Fnatic just took it to them in that last fight. The Test got a little bit out of position and Fnatic took him down. He was the main threat. They did it. This was the hardest game of the weekend, I gotta say, for Fnatic. 51 minutes, 41 kills. Only fitting we get a crazy loopy game after a crazy loopy day.